Hey, true believers, it's Englentine here, and I want to talk about something that happened yesterday, as far as this recording is concerned, obviously. And Rich Johnston of Bleeding Cool posted that, well, this is a fine thing to wake up to, and what was underneath was possibly the most vile of all messages. Something that, had he written himself, and that's not out of the question, would have gotten him kicked off of Twitter. Anybody who wrote this right here, and this is the only way I'm going to show it, so enlarge it, do what you need to do, and it's only going to be on for these 5 seconds, should have been thrown off. Now, here's the thing. When I saw this, immediately is like, okay, this is fake. There's just too many warning bells. One of the warning bells, of course, is the fact that every little bit of bigotry and hatred is touched upon. There is nothing missing in this, except for, of course, white people. So, and also at the end, the Sieg Heil, the whole 9 yards, everything was just so absolute cartoon villain. I mean, this is like Superman versus the leader of the KKK times 10. I mean, like, it's exactly how, if you had a conversation with a Hitler, you would think it would go, you know. But, of course, it never does. And that's the big problem. Whoever wrote this forgot to humanize it. There's no nuance. People have thoughts. People have reasons behind those thoughts, even if they're idiotic and hateful. But in this particular message, there was no reason. There was no reasoning. This was not written by a human. By that, I mean this was not written by anybody who actually felt those things that are being written. Which, of course, means that it was written in order to spark controversy. One way or the other, this person just wanted to prank somebody. Now, they either wanted to prank Rich Johnston, so he might write an article about it, or it was supposed to maybe look at somebody and go, well, obviously, they're the ones that wrote it, and start a tiff, one that is, say, already there. And that's how I recognized it. Obviously, this was there to so Rich Johnston could point to the people he believes would talk like this and go, this was from them. However, for as big an idiot I think Rich Johnston is, he isn't dumb enough to flat out have done this. No, he simply put it out there and said, well, this is a fine thing to wake up to. You read it, and then you make your decision. And a lot of people, after we talked, jumped right on in. See, by the time I was done with them, it was over. The battle had been won. I went to Rich Johnston and I said, well, this is horrible. This is out. Do you have a name? And he didn't have a name to it. What I showed you came later. There was no Daniel Suarez or whatever it was. He just had the message. And so I said, well, without a name, there's no confirmation. Without confirmation, there's no story. Now, a couple of people argued with me, mainly one, and they were saying, well, you should believe. You can't believe without proof. Sorry, but you can't. Of course, you know, actually the first message was, people who think you faked this or you wrote this yourself in 3, 2, 1. Okay, do you have proof? But I was not saying this is fake, because obviously it was real. Somebody sent this. Or he wrote it himself. Either way, there's the message. It's real. Why it's there is the question. So I said, of course, without confirmation, no story. Without a name, didn't happen. Sorry, because anybody could write it. And in the message, it even says the name on it is fake. Now, after about an hour, I got him to say, well, this is nothing. It's just words. And then he produced this. Now, it's an hour later. Plenty of time for him to have been able to create a separate account to put this on. Not saying that's what he did. Just saying there was time. But what ended up happening, what I think is funny about all this is, I got him to admit it. Got him to admit that it was nothing. Got him to admit that it wasn't us. Had us, this group of ours, be the hero, because we were the ones that were stepping up and say, let's find out who this is. Let's out him and let's make sure that he suffers the consequences for this. That was us. So we were done. Our group was protected, and it was shown to be a big nothing burger that it is. It really is, because without knowing who this came from, it can be anything. However, Rich Johnston just put it right in the middle of the field and said, here you go, play with it as you will, because after that, the sparks can fly. After the battle had already been won, it became a product of the masses. People jumped in. Nothing needed to be said. The battle was won. We won. And yet, everybody wanted to talk about it, man. And they didn't want to talk about it. They didn't want to look and think about it. They just wanted to look and react. You know, well, let's call, oh my gosh, you complain about something on the internet, you're a woman. Oh my gosh, obviously this is DNC and all those people. Oh my gosh, this is something that you didn't like, therefore, oh, this is everything. Blah, 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 blah. There was no thought. There was no logic put to this message after that. And I was disappointed. I was disappointed because Rich Johnson got exactly what he wanted. Seriously. If he's just putting it there, because he never said it was our side. He would let people who were against our side do that. He never said it wasn't. He would let us do that. You know, I think Rich Johnson's pretty much an idiot, but on this case, man, he played everybody who reacted to that just like a fiddle. The only way to have properly played it was to say, this is horrible. Let's find out who that is. Don't defend yourself. You know you didn't do it. Don't attack the other side. Just say the one thing everybody could have been wrapped up in is, this message is horrible. We need to. And then that just diffuses everything. But unfortunately, that was not how it was reacted to, and Rich Johnston got what he wanted. I have to hand it to him. He grabbed victory out of the jaws of defeat, and he didn't do anything. It was still out there. And all the fish swam around the piece of meat and then realized, oh my gosh, let's go, and found out that it was a hook. Who, what, and why are three questions that we need to ask all the time. We are in kind of a battle here. If you're against identity politics, and that's what I'm here for. I'm not here for anything beyond the identity politics in comic books. But you have to wonder, since they see us as the enemy, when they put something out there, why? Who did it? Why did they do it? And what is it all about? What is it really about? Not just what it says, because sometimes what the message says isn't the real message. In this case, it was a whole bunch of vileness. But it was really, let's see who's going to get mad at this first. Let's see who's going to claim that it wasn't them first and start fighting. This message wasn't about the words. It was about the reaction. This whole Comicsgate thing has me a little weirded out, I have to admit. It's strange because this is not where I thought I would be, you know, with the channel. I'm more than happy to stand up against identity politics and things. But it is quite strange. So I'm wondering, what do you guys think of this whole thing? Let me know in the comments below. The whole Comicsgate thing. It's an interesting situation, to say the very least. Also, were you there in the beginning for this message? Or did you get to it later, say around 11, 12-ish in the afternoon was when it really started going off the rails? We'd love to find out what your thoughts about the whole situation are. Because obviously, this was not written by somebody, like I said, somebody who believed that thing. It definitely wasn't written by somebody who really believed it. You know, it seems like a reactionary piece, and I'd love to know what you think. Let me know in the comments below. I meant a piece to garner a reaction. Also, what did I miss? Because, you know, I'm not infallible. I miss things occasionally. You know, is there a part of the story that I saw that happened after I got him to admit that it was nothing? That it didn't, I mean, if there was something after that that I missed, please also put that in the comments below. I'd like to hear it. Also, if you like this video, you want to see more, click like, share, subscribe to see more. Don't forget to hit that notification bell. If you don't mind heading on down to Patreon or VidMe, drop $1 in the till. We certainly appreciate that. The links are in the description below. I'd like to thank everybody who's already done that, everybody who's thinking about that, and to everyone, all of the true believers, thank you very much for watching. So 24 hours.